A horse walks into a bar and the barman says, "Why the long face?" Awesome.
At a Sydney community college,
Gaz?
Vomit?
Vomit's great.
a class of ordinary people
Richard?
Refreshing.
embark on a not-so-ordinary course.
Now, you see the formula here? We have introduction, confirmation, violation.
They're learning the art of stand-up comedy. And they're absolute beginners.
And to be a successful comedian, you've got to be funny. Set up, punchline, set up, punchline.
Students sign up for all sorts of reasons.
I'm a boring person and I thought this would be exciting.
Some feel life's passing them by.
I've just turned 40. I've got a little kid now. As Rocky said into the mirror, there is no tomorrow.
Others want to wield comedy as a weapon against disability.
I want to be the guy with muscular dystrophy who's the comic.
Addiction.
I was completely gone.
Illness.
Life's out there to be grabbed. Make an idiot of yourself. Who cares?
And just plain fear.
I think if you're afraid of something, the best thing to do is to go out and face that fear.
Come on! Their teacher is veteran comic Rob McHugh.
I have people come in saying, I'm as dry as last year's dog shit, basically. You could run me over with a lawnmower and I'd turn to dust, you know? Can you make me funny? Oh, my God.
He's got just 1 month to pass on the secrets of stand-up.
We've already done a dick joke. If we hadn't had a dick joke early, I'd stick the balls in.
Because to graduate, they must perform for 7 long minutes at Australia's most famous comedy club.
If stand-up comedy is like this every time, I don't want to do it.
It's Saturday at the Eastern Suburbs Community College in Bondi. While others hit the beach, the class gathers for its first lesson. There's an air of uncertainty.
Morning.
How the hell do you learn stand-up comedy? Rob welcomes every new class with 3 home truths. First, it's not all fun and games.
Stand-up comedy is hard and lonely and vicious. Okay? Said by the guy that you would least suspect to have that attitude, Will Ferrell.
Possibly the funniest character in the world. If he says it's going to be tricky, it's going to be hard, it's going to be vicious.
That's exactly right.
It's going to be hard, it's going to be vicious.
I'm taking his word for it.
I'm a mother of 4. I think I know a little bit about hard.
Yeah, you know a lot about hard and lonely and vicious already. Not so lonely. Easy on the lonely. Just hard and vicious.
Home truth number 2 doesn't sound much fun either.
Comedy always has to have a victim. Make no mistake.
When Rob put that bib on, I was absolutely scared. All I saw was the pie and all I saw was it bang on my face.
I was a bit wary that, you know, it might be headed my way, but I was hoping they wouldn't be that cruel on the first day.
You look like a personable young lady. Come up here for a minute. Now then, pie me. Don't miss, yes, right in the face. Okay. Thank you. Do you know why you're all laughing at me?
Because you're an idiot.
No. because it wasn't you that got the pie in your face. Okay? It's right here in this book. Wit and its Relation to the Unconscious by Sigmund Freud. Freud's premise is that, you know, when you see someone fall on their ass in the street, you piss yourself laughing because it wasn't you that fell over. So it's basically a defence mechanism. So I need to get this pie off my head.
Comedy's hard, lonely and vicious, and it needs a victim. This is shaping up to be as much fun as an army boot camp. The third element of Rob's holy trinity is no giggle either.
Truth plus pain equals comedy. Okay, that's your equation. That's the E equals MC squared of comedy is truth and pain. I implore the students from the heart. Authenticity is the name of the game. Speak about what you know about. Can anybody give me an example of where they've used comedy in their life to lighten what would have been an otherwise bleak situation?
For Rob, comedy is a bit like therapy. But can he get the students to open up?
I've had cancer twice, and I tell you what, the only way I got through it was to laugh about it.
Well, I was in your situation. I had cancer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So it was right from the word go. That was the only way I was going to fight it was with humour.
Rosalie's road to comedy school began with breast cancer. She had a life-saving mastectomy in 2006.
Comedy and humour was really important to me throughout that battle.
Please put your hands together for Rosie.
Today, Rose is a volunteer fundraiser for cancer research.
Thanks for having me. Is it on? Okay.
But it's not easy for her.
I'm actually naturally a very, 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 very shy person. Anyhow, this is a little bit about my story. I can get intimidated by one other person in the room. So I had a couple of thoughts.
No quitter, Rose hopes Rob's course can help boost her confidence.
This is just my way of sort of saying, no, I'm not going to let the shyness win. I'm going to actually try to beat it.
If truth plus pain equals comedy gold, then course regular Harry has a rich seam to mine.
I've got Becker muscular dystrophy. I've pieced together that I'll probably be using wheelchairs by the time I'm 40.
Harry, do you mind telling us why you're approximately 3 hours, 20 minutes late?
I don't usually like waking up before 9. So.
Hang on, now I know you.
Harry's done the course several times since his diagnosis.
Harry's my groupie. Harry was in a very dark space, and I think comedy helped to get him out of that hole. Okay. Gonzo.
Hard times have also led Gonzo to comedy school.
What do you hope to get out of the course?
I essentially just want to turn the negatives of my past. I'm an ex-junkie, 4 years clean, and I want to turn that negative into a positive.
Aliens. I discovered alcohol when my mum was first diagnosed with cancer, and that was in year 7.
Gonzo's mum passed away, and as an adult, he graduated from alcohol to crystal meth.
Within a year, I was cross-dressing, breaking into buildings, thinking I was a telepathic member of the FBI. Put me on the payroll, bitch! I want my money! Where's my money? There's got to be humour in that, hey? And just that whole negative time has to be turned into a positive, or else I'm just like living in a bad past, you know?
I'm going to put you through something that will quite possibly be the most harrowing challenge you've ever faced in your life.
Before they even write their first gag, Rob drops a bomb about graduation.
This is something that will really test your mettle. After the course, you get to get up and perform for 7 minutes at the Sydney Comedy Store. The #1 comedy venue in Australia.
Oh, gee. What the hell?
I can't even imagine the nerves.
I'm petrified. Absolutely petrified.
There's a lot of work to be done between now and standing up at the Comedy Store. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done.
Linda doesn't know how right she is.
And now, just like a proper college course, I'll call roll. Find out who everyone is.
It's early days at comedy school.
Gary Goldie. The people that come along to do the course come from varied walks of life. I'd say 70% of people are just normal people. Having said that, with every single course I run, there's always one nutter. Richard Irvine.
Yes?
Why are you actually doing a stand-up comedy course?
Obedience. I have been told to get out of the house, and obedience was crucial to the success of my first 3 marriages.
Richard's always on the lookout for an audience. Even at work.
G'day, mates. How's it going?
Never better.
I teach English as a second language to small classes of students who are a captive audience for me. I'm just going to the pub.
I'm just going to the pub.
I'm just going to the adult shop.
I'm just going to the adult shop.
Making people laugh isn't so much a want as a need.
My ego is a flame which requires a constant fanning. Musical instruments ready? Ba, 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 ba. My cucumber refuses to rise to extra large size, to extra large size. My cucumber...
The eccentric personality and mustache mask old insecurities.
Yeah.
At 16, a doctor diagnosed him with Crohn's disease, an incurable bowel condition.
At that particular moment, he opened up an unresolved fear I had of not being perfect.
Richard's been running from that fear ever since.
That's stayed with me forever and manifested itself in a terribly unresolved feeling of underachievement. Procrastination is a result of that, because if I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it at all.
Now he's worried that time's running out.
I'm doing the course because I just turned 40. If I don't grab this chance now, then it'll be the coulda, shoulda, woulda. And that might just break me.
All right, let's get down to the fundamentals of actually learning how to write comedy. We'll start off with some exercises.
The learning curve starts at the bottom with the basics.
One for you, Rick.
First, never forget your notebook.
If I remembered every funny thing that I thought up, I wouldn't be here teaching you lot how to be stand-up comics. You can't teach someone a sense of humour, but what I can do is show them all the rest. Please write down in your books things that you really hate. I have lists of 10 questions I ask people. What do you love? What do you hate? What scares you? Let's hear some of the things we hate.
I hate people who don't use their blinkers when driving.
Ticket inspectors on the bus.
Smart-ass police.
Rats.
Getting caught masturbating.
You can show them how to write comedy. There's certain rules. Every joke you've ever heard follows some kind of structure. This clash of context is the great granddaddy of everything to do with comedy. The forced union of incompatibles. Gary, what about if I was to say cup?
Octopus?
Cup of octopus, gold. That's something you don't see every day. Richard, sweatshirt.
Playing naked tennis with Emma.
Like it. Okay, now, how do you make comedy out of that? Simple. All those lines are the stock that you will use to make your comedy soup. Pick 3 or 4 of the funniest and just come back with a 90-second routine that you're happy to perform in front of the class.
Happy or not, there's no exceptions, no rain checks. They've all got to perform a 90-second comedy set as their first assignment.
So unless you want to arrive here with nothing, open mouth, flapping around like a goldfish, come back with the goods next week.
It's almost home time, but there's one more vital lesson before the day is done.
If these people decide to go on and do stand-up comedy, at one stage or another, you are always faced with some pissed idiot that wants to yell out and try and ruin your show.
So they've got to learn how to deal with hecklers. And there's nothing like first-hand experience.
Tonight, we're all going to meet up because we're going to go and see Austen Tayshus performing at the Laugh Garage.
How are you, mate? Where you from?
Bathurst.
Bathurst, are you? Mate, that is a shithole, mate.
Austen Tayshus is a giant of Australian comedy.
Which joke are you up to at the moment?
And he has hecklers for breakfast.
Because you're looking at me like this.
So what's Rob got up his sleeve?
This whole crowd could set you on fire any moment.
You're going to have an excellent night. Everyone's going to have a really good time, except for one of you. Because now we're going to draw straws, and whoever gets a short straw is going to heckle Austen Tayshus. Heckling any comic is a bad idea. Heckling Austen Tayshus is a singularly wretched idea.
They're all thinking the same thing. Please God, not me.
Let's start with the lovely Rosemary. Pick a straw. Adam.
Ooh.
You're safe, it ain't you. It's not you.
It's down to 2. Harry or Gonzo.
Gonzo. It's you, my friend. You're heckling Austen Tayshus.
Drawing the short straw scared the crap out of me. Like I was really, really freaking out.
Gonzo's about to enter a comedy furnace. It's comedy school's first field trip. Sydney's Laugh Garage. The students gather to support their sacrificial lamb, Gonzo, who has to heckle Austen Tayshus. It's all part of comedy education.
Sometimes when I've conducted this exercise in the past, students have just bolted, never to be seen again, over in Bolivia with the ex-Nazi war criminals.
Really, I don't want to do this. I'm really dreading this. This is one of the most awful things I've ever had to
G'day, Austin.
Hi, Rob.
Thanks
How are
for
you,
this.
mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
So what's actually happening here tonight?
Well, one of my students drew the short straw, and, you know, welcome to comedy. I've brought him all here tonight, and he's come down to heckle you. So
Oh, he's going to try and heckle me.
he's going to try and heckle you.
But do they realise that most people who heckle me end up throwing themselves off a building?
Well, this is what I want, mate. I want a lesson from the master.
Right, right. So you don't mind if they actually kill themselves at the end of the show?
Oh, look, you go hard.
That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going in.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, Mr. Austen Tayshus.
Thank you very much, and what a pleasure it is to be here. I've been sitting here all night and watching the audience, and I realise that there's not a lot of smart people in here. But being wild and stupid is part of being Australian. Do people understand the pride that I'm feeling here?
They say the waiting's the worst bit, and Gonzo's already had enough.
The owner of the place, the guy who's just bought the actual freehold on this venue.
The guy's jokes you've been stealing. The guy's jokes you've been stealing.
That was a full sentence. Do people notice that? There was a preposition, a noun, an adjective. It's very rare that one would step into a comedy room and at nearly 10:05 at night with a predominantly stupid crowd and an individual would pipe up and put a full compound sentence together. Well, where are you from, mate?
Me?
Me?
I have a name.
I'm pointing right at you, I'm talking
I have
to
a
you.
name.
And you say, me? What do you do? What's your job?
I work in a second-hand record store.
Exactly. Records are obsolete. And you work in a second-hand record shop.
It wasn't one of my most favourite moments. But I was glad I'd fulfilled my deal for the short straw, and I was quite happy and quite content to just leave it at that. And then Richard came along.
Yeah, so you're part of the comedy school thing too, so you're a bit nervous too, are you, mate? The guy that thinks he's Salvador Dali.
No, you're wrong.
Wrong about what?
All three things you just said.
Of course, mate, I'm fucking making it up. See, the thing is, mate, it's a fucking show. Unlike your miserable life, this is a fucking show. What's the fucking moustache thing? What has got? You got a fucking plane waiting there, have you? This fucking tiger moth. You got to look at that moustache every fucking day.
And you're happy looking at yourself too?
Well, whenever I get the opportunity, you know what I
I was wishing I could just act as though I hadn't given a damn, but he could just smell it. Because I was sitting there looking like someone had just pissed on my lunch.
But you've got about as much sense of humour as a fucking dead person. Man, what is the moustache thing? Like, let's elucidate.
It distracts people from the fact that I don't have a very interesting personality.
Fucking oath. Is suicide, starting to become quite predominant in your thinking? If you are thinking about killing yourself tonight, log on to www.suicideprevention/yourwrists.com.
That got me because I am deeply insecure at the best of times. You're in a very safe position, aren't you? Because anything you say... And I like to bolster my insecurities by getting laughs and approval and adulation. Well, I wasn't getting much then, was I?
Am I going too hard on the moustache face? I don't know. No, because that was a directive of the comedy school. They said, go in hard, crucify that. Anyway, but I tell you what. Hold on. Now, come on, hold on. They said, no. They said, don't use the word crucify. But anyway.
Rob said comedy is hard and lonely and vicious. I imagined he was talking about the person on stage and not necessarily the relatively defenceless person in the audience.
Next week, Richard wonders if he's got what it takes.
I don't know whether I'm in the right game anymore.
Do you have any advice or anything for us?
Emma gets help from stand-up star Arj Barker.
Yeah, the notebook. Can I be your best friend?
And everyone has a go at their first ever comedy set.
90 seconds, you might think that's easy. You try it.